Saturday, October 9th. It goes down. Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena. It's a trilogy bout. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Oh, Bomb Squad. Rematch. Double rematch. Tyson Fury, Gypsy King. We break it down right here, right now. This is your boy, JG, Exaggeration Experience. Let's go. Like I said before, y'all, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time coming here, this is your boy, JG. All things combat sports. Primarily do MMA, but this fight's too big to pass up an opportunity to speak on. Like I mentioned before at the top, Deontay Wilder looking for redemption against Tyson Fury, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, Saturday, October 9th. It is a pay-per-view event that's hosted by both ESPN and Fox. Let's get right into it. We know what happened. First fight, they fight to a draw. You know, Tyson Fury gets his head caved in. He got punched in, a left hook. Beats the count. There's questions around it. Was it a long count? Whatever. I don't want to get into all that. Gets up miraculously, has a decent, ending to the round and a decent 12th round. Like I said before, that fight results in a draw. The history behind that is they sign up to do an immediate rematch. Tyson Fury then bounces out, goes to Top Rank. ESPN pushes that out. We got 2 fights later, tune-up style fights, a little bit of WWE action, and then their rematch. Second fight, crazy. Deontay Wilder, he got some damage put on him. Now, there's questions about legitimacy and Tyson Fury, accusations of cheating and weird gloves and this, that, and the other. I'm gonna take all that shit off the table and just focus on what happened in the fight. Deontay Wilder came out. If you look at the first and second round of the second fight, he landed that right hand solid twice. Now, if he can get a little more on that for the third fight, just putting that out there. And this is not shocking. This is a knockout artist. He will knock out Tyson Fury. But Tyson Fury in the second fight was able to just kind of weather that storm and just march Wilder down and just beat him up. Like some of the punches, he would just, any kind of way he could put damage on Wilder, he put it on him, and that's what he did. Wilder had the blood coming out the ear. He was looking crazy, like zombie man and shit like that. He even described feeling like a zombie or whatnot. And the fight just looks starkly different from the first bout. So it raised questions. Nevertheless, Tyson Fury comes away with the belt. Now, here's what I want to say about what happened after the fight. It seemed like to me the WBC, boxing at large, was pretty excited for Deontay Fury, for Deontay Wilder to no longer be the champion of the WBC. He's never been rated that high on the pound-for-pound list. People won't even rate him in the heavyweight division, but the reality of the situation, he's a all-time record holder for title defenses. I believe he held the belt since 2015, up until when he lost it to Fury. He's like a 93% knockout ratio. He has devastating knockouts. And he was exciting for the sport. He put fans in the seats. You tune in. Unless you really follow boxing or someone's background. You don't really know who Dominic Brazil is until you get decapitated by Deontay Wilder. I did a video on that back in the day. I'm gonna throw that one on the card. But I digress. So I feel like, aside from the cheating and some of the things that people have discussed in the lead up to this fight, just how Deontay Wilder was treated, the perceived excitement for moving on from Wilder. I mean, you're talking about a dude over 40 fights and lost. That was his first loss. Not a 4-fight losing streak, or he'd been knocked out a bunch of times. And in contrast, you look at the AJ stuff. He got folded up by Ruiz, and it was just like, well, that was shocking. It was a fluke, short notice fight, whatever. But no one ever said that AJ can't bounce back. No one ever said AJ can't be a champion again. No one ever said those things. Then we know what happens, and Ruiz shows up with a bag of Taco Bell and some KFC and Pizza Hut, all with him, ringside. Hella big, hella out of shape, and he just gets boxed up by Joshua, which is another thing that I thought was peculiar. If I'm Anthony Joshua and I get dropped 15 million times in a fight and get stopped by a dude that, doesn't have the action figure body that I have, when I see you again, I'm bodying you, especially if I have the physical advantage, especially once I realize you didn't train and you've been kicking and doing your thing, I'm coming forward and I'm destroying you. I'm risking it all. But shout out to AJ, he boxed and he moved around. But anyway, I digress. The commentary around AJ after his loss to Andy Ruiz was nothing like it was to Wilder, and he got stopped. Well, Wilder got stopped too. But that's the Mark Breland, throwing the flag. And quite honestly, shout out to Wilder. You want to die on the sword and all that extra stuff. Who wants to see a fighter get critically injured in a bout where they're, for that bout, for that round, for those rounds, man had your number and, your blood coming out. You did look a little out of sorts. Got, knocked down weirdly by like a body shot, like a sweeping body shot. So I don't know if I'm mad about the towel being wet. Anyway, it's just curious to me that, boxing at large, despite the success and the excitement, was very, very ready to move on from Deontay Wilder after he lost the belt. I digress. Tyson Fury said he got the vids, I felt like that was convenient. Pushed the fight out from July, I believe, to October 9th, like I mentioned. But there's questions surrounding, is he training? He kicked up. We know he had a baby. He had a new baby that was sick. Wifey was in the hospital or whatnot. So he wasn't training up in that point. That was a little more than a month out from this particular bout that we're talking about. Then he said, okay, cool. Everything's looking on the up and up. And I'm going to start training now. You have the additional time. You said you had Rona. Let's say we don't believe you. So that's probably a little, something you're going to have to contend with as you train and try to come into the fight at full capacity. But images on you on the internet and videos, you're not looking, you know what? I don't care. I'm not going to go into all that. Tyson Fury is a questionable dude. He, despite beating Klitschko, he never defended that belt, ran from the rematch, and then really tried to get out of this rematch with Wilder in really 3 different instances. It had to be, ruled on. They had to bring in an arbiter to come in and say, you're going to fight him or it's a wrap. So, I don't know. As recording this video, it's Tuesday, 10/5. Is there still time enough for Tyson Fury to pull out? Who knows? He just has a sketchy background. That's all I'm really trying to say. Let's assume that he makes it to Saturday and nothing crazy happens. How do we see this fight going? Here's what I'll say. Tyson Fury has more ways to win than Wilder does. And I'll pick Deontay Wilder to win by knockout, but it's got to be by knockout. I can't see a scenario where Deontay Wilder goes in there and boxes Fury's ears off. That's never been a style. It'll never be a style. Even in the second Ortiz fight, I think he was losing every single round and just destroyed him with right hand. Like off to the angle, offside, yap, and just blasted, just sweat off his, just flew off his head. But that's really the commentary. It's going to be expectable and it's going to be an exciting night of fights. The undercard is pretty good as well. You guys got to check that out. A lot of heavyweight action. Deontay Wilder mentioned something about his suit. If I was him, I don't know. If I'm Wilder, I'm coming with shorts on, maybe a do-rag, and my gloves and my boots, my boxing boots, and that's it. But they will be like hella nice, like dope shorts, and they got something crazy on there. But we know that there was a little fake controversy around. I don't even want to call it fake because what I call it is poor decision making. My man Deontay Wilder came out with an 100-pound suit on, and it was wobbly leg when he got in there. So whether that affected him or not, I think a lot of little things piling one on top of the other could affect the fighter. Maybe any one single thing, a professional fighter with that many fights, who knows? I don't know. But what I would say is I'm excited about the bout. It's definitely worth a purchase. Do that. Wilder can get this done. I'm not gonna say he can't. See, I want y'all to check for this. There's a difference between saying, "Hey, I think it's possible for Deontay Wilder to win," and saying, I am picking him to win the fight by stoppage. Because you say something's a possibility doesn't mean you predicted what was going to happen. I'm just going to put that out there. Saying something could happen is not the same as saying this will happen tomorrow night, this date and time, and by this method. 2 different things. This is your boy JG. This is Exaggeration Experience. If you have not had the opportunity, please like, subscribe, bell icon for notification. Saturday, October 9th, it goes down, the Trilogy bout between Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena. It's pay-per-view, Fox, ESPN, joint venture. It's going to be an exciting night. Once again, I think Wilder will get it done by stoppage. However, Tyson Fury has more ways to win. He can win by stoppage, which he's shown. He hasn't shown that kind of ability for the majority of his career, but he showed it against Wilder in the second fight. And he can win a boxing match. So that's all I got on that. This is your boy JG, Exaggeration Experience. Shout out to Double M. We out.